tuning in to Real Talk with Karen Weaver. I've been waiting on this interview. You've been busy. And thank you all for tuning in. I want you to share this. Like, subscribe, share, because we're going to have a conversation. You've been having conversations. Let me introduce, if you don't know who the special guest is today, Billie D.
Hello, everybody.
And
Thank you for having me.
I'm glad to have you. Well, I don't know. And you know why? For the reason. You have been in the news a lot. What is going on? I mean, some of us know what's going on, but tell everybody what is going on.
So, I honestly couldn't give you an honest answer. I hate for people to see me in this position, but I guess it's my time to shine. I don't have a definite answer.
You know, you're on the agenda again. Let's talk about that. You're on the agenda.
Not the agenda. Not the agenda.
The agenda.
Well, may I ask what am I on the agenda for?
Yeah, why are you on the agenda
is
again
it-
for city council meeting this evening?
Is it about that Is it about the EAB?
Yes, it is.
Well, the only thing.
I'm still sharing, just so you know.
Okay. The only thing I can think on why I am still on the agenda is because at our last EAB meeting, I voted to subpoena the finance chair and the CFO about
No,
that.
why?
Well, word in the street is that the budget is not, aligning.
That I've heard that.
So, in order for the Ethics and Accountability Board to get some type of clarity on what's going on, we need the proper people at the table to explain to us what's going on.
And you've got the nerve to ask. It's your job.
I am a resident, and I am concerned about our budget.
And so wait a minute, you're a resident. What ward are you representing on the Ethics and Accountability
So
Board?
I am in Ward 6, and that is the ward I represent on the EAB.
Okay, so you were appointed by Councilwoman Burns.
Correct. I was
Okay.
appointed by Councilwoman Burns, and I share with everyone, my last council person, Councilman Winfrey, he also appointed me to the Community Block Grant Committee.
Okay,
So this is my second.
appointment.
Yeah.
And so why do they want to discuss you? Why do they want you off of this board? Because a lot of people want you on that board.
The people who probably want me on that board are probably the residents here in the city of Flint.
Oh.
The people who do not want me on that board
Okay.
probably are council members in the administration. So that's what I'm assuming, right? I mean, I'm only guessing.
Well, yesterday I was listening and I heard that it was Councilwoman Lewis that is really going in on you. And you said some things that I thought were interesting because you said, and correct me if I'm wrong and add on, but you said that you'd be okay. You said you wouldn't lose sleep. Your life still goes on. You'll still be involved. They're not going to knock you off your game. And you're right. You would be all right. But who won't be all right? Would be the residents.
It would be the residents.
And that's what happens over and over and over. So at the end of the day, the residents are the ones that end up hurting when people like you, I know, well, Carol McIntosh will not be reappointed, but there was a time they were talking about getting rid of both of you. And so when people like you who dare to question, do those things, dare to stand up for yourselves, it's a problem. And you thought, let me see, I was writing stuff down. I liked what you were saying.
Okay.
I mean, because you said that they're trying to discipline you.
Correct.
And you said discipline is about teaching,
Correct.
not retaliation.
No, not retaliation or punishment.
Or punishment, that's what you said.
So again, I hate that the city I hate that we're wasting, city time
Mm-hmm.
on such a frivolous situation. But that lets it's really a great space, right? So it lets the residents know um, their council members' mindset, right? So to be honest with you, I have a brand new roof on my house.
Mm-hmm.
I have one,
Mm-hmm.
right? I have a brand new furnace. I have things that most people in the community do not have.
Mm-hmm.
So when they're punishing me, they're punishing the residents because I already have a lot of this stuff
Mm-hmm.
that people are wanting. And I'm thankful that I have it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, why wouldn't I want my neighbor to have a new roof?
Right.
Why wouldn't I want my neighbor to have all these different things, right? So,
Well, there were ARPA dollars that could have been used for those things.
and those ARPA dollars are very interesting. And the reason I think that is an interesting situation because it shows you how money motivates and moves people, not in a way to help the community, but in a way to help themselves. So,
Money motivates.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. You're right.
yeah.
And it's a way to help themselves, and it's selfish. It's very selfish.
Is very selfish, and so I am not selfish, right? So I grew up in the city of Flint. My parents did divorce when I was young, but my mom was able to remarry, and both my stepfather and my father were very good to me,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I really come from a very healthy family, and I have great uncles. I love my aunts. I have wonderful sisters. I even have make believe sisters,
Mhm.
right? Because, well, I don't want to say make believe, but I have my sister's friends.
right.
They're my sisters. I collect big sisters everywhere. And so I have a wonderful big brother and his wife. I love them dearly. I have great nieces and nephews. I had a grandmother who lived until she was 95, who just
Mhm.
buried her in 2017. So I really come from a very a wonderful household background. So what I'm telling the people is that because I grew up in such I had a comfortable, right, lifestyle
Uh-huh.
growing up. Not a perfect,
Right.
but it was comfortable because my mom and my dad they met all my basic needs.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have to grow up. I'm not a selfish adult because I had everything I probably could have wanted, and plus more, right? My parents were not rich, they were not wealthy, they were just hardworking,
Hard workers.
you know,
And that's what you've been in this community. You've
right.
been a hard worker. You have been involved in this community. You've been engaged in what's going on. You attend city council meetings. I mean, you attend other meetings throughout the community. And so we see you in a lot of places. And you're always speaking up about what's right and what the people deserve. And so here you are doing it again, and they're trying to get rid of you. And I also heard you say you haven't even been there for 1 year.
So no, I have
And they
not.
want you gone.
And they want me gone. And
Well, I'm gonna tell you, yeah, that happened to me. Well, they did.
well, I that was a hard blow for me when you were not reelected, right? That was devastating. I had a neighbor who actually she said I'm done with Flint, and she moved out of Flint, and she meant what she said. And I was like, no, no, don't go, no.
Mhm.
She was like, no, this is it, because during that time, during your leadership, right, I seen a lot of great things happening. I seen a lot of movement in the community. I even seen what do they call them, street sweepers,
Yes,
come
that's what
down
we
my
call
street.
them.
Matter of fact, you left a dead animal. I said, "Oh Lord, I'm not picking that up." But I seen a lot of great things, right? And I always tell people, I said, "Well, Dr. Weaver is not perfect, right?" And I kind of put us, I kind of I said she's not perfect, but she's perfect for the job. That's how
Thank you.
I viewed you. You know, it's perfect for the job. Just like with me
Right.
on the EAB, right?
Mhm.
I'm not perfect,
Right.
but I'm probably perfect for the job.
I think so, because that was one of the things I always admired about you was you did your homework, you did your research, but that's what you do. That's what you do, but you always knew what was going on and you went by facts.
Correct. Correct. That's what I try to do, and I try to balance my facts because anybody can put information out, right? So we have to be mindful of what information we're listening to.
Is it, what did you say, helpful, useful?
Yeah, and useful information.
So why is it useful to get rid of you?
Um,
Why for some people?
for some people,
Why is it useful?
because I will talk,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I will ask questions. Whether one thing I learned about the Great Maze, right? Whether I'm wrong, right, or indifferent,
Mhm.
right? Your voice, I still have a voice.
That's right.
You know, so sometimes my questions may not come out, clear.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they might be too clear. Sometimes they might be.
And I think that's the problem. They're too clear.
So at the last like I said, at the last EAB meeting, I did ask the subpoena, and I believe that has a lot to do with it. Subpoena about the finance.
Mhm.
But if you're let's just get it straight. Like, government money is no specific individual person's money. Right. That money is there to help vitalize the community and help people, so that they can have the basic needs in this world.
Okay, you know what? Stop, because it didn't
Okay.
go there.
Oh,
There's an this was part of the conversation. There's an unbalanced budget. No one got, well, somebody got some ARPA dollars, but it didn't go to the people. We talked about crime. No plan, no safety plan put in place. Still no access to the water. That has not been completed. And what did you call it?
political violence.
Yep. And abuse.
Yes.
I told you I was listening.
I
I wrote it down. Yeah.
It is, and Dr. Amos Wilson, the late great Dr. Amos Wilson, who was an ancestor, he transitioned, I believe it was in 1995. He is the one who, where I got the term from, political violence, because it is violent. And if you are part of the Poor People's Campaign with Reverend Dr. Barber, when you can't put food on your table, that's violence.
It is.
Right? When you can't pay rent,
it's criminal.
It is very,
it's a crime.
Right. That's part of violence. So not only are we dealing with gun violence here in the city of Flint, right? We don't want to turn all our energy just on the gun violence.
Right.
We want to make sure that we pay attention to our government.
And see, and that's what I hear you doing, is letting people know what's going on that way. As far as, here's the information you need to know about the political landscape and what is available, what we can have, what we need to be checking. And so those are the kinds of things you do. Those are the questions that I see you pose. And people don't like it.
No. And I thought it was just interesting that I would be on the chopping block.
Right. And so what? Yeah, I was gonna say, why'd they bring you back? So because you were on the chopping block already,
right.
and it didn't go through.
And
so what? Do they have the 5? What do they need? Do they need 5 votes?
I believe so.
So they have the 5 votes now. Who did they not have before that they might have now?
Well, I think the first ward representative, he abstained himself from that vote, and so. That was, they probably, I don't know. So I won't know.
I mean, that's what I'm wondering. You don't bring it back unless you have the votes.
Right, unless you're confident.
Unless you are confident you have the votes. So it makes me wonder, so what happened between then and now? How'd that happen? Tell me.
Well, the way Miss Allison Littlejohn read the council president at one of the council meetings when she expressed all of her violent behavior and towards council members as well as the audience,
Mm-hmm.
her and the vice president, right? And so,
The vice president, that's Councilwoman Mashat. Let me just, in case people don't know, I want them
yes,
to know.
yes. Both of those women are very, they're violent. They're
Mhm.
very abusive
Mhm.
individual, and so I do I mean, I'm like, whoa. I never grew up in a violent home or an abusive home, right? And so when I see this behavior, I'm like, where are you guys as mothers?
Ooh.
You know, what type of relationship do
Do
you
you
have
have?
with your
You
mother?
know, right.
I mean, because everything starts at home.
Mhm.
I mean, so I'm just, I don't know.
I don't either.
But you know, the older I get, I didn't realize that so many people here in the city have a are not connected to their biological parents,
Mhm.
right? So that's where my ignorance come in at,
Mhm.
because I have a really healthy relationship with my mother, with my aunt, and my aunt live in the second ward,
Mhm.
right? And my aunt and my cousins, they stay in the 2nd
Mhm.
ward, right? So my old neighbors, they stay in the second ward, right? So I'm just saying,
You know some folk in the second
I know
ward
some
is what you're
folks in the
saying.
second ward, right?
Okay, y'all.
I know some people in that second ward because I grew
Uh-huh.
up in that second ward.
Uh-huh.
So, I
You
don't
know a
know.
whole lot of folk and family that are paying attention and
Yeah,
watching,
and watching.
and residents that are happy that you are there to be their voice and our voices, because while you're appointed by the sixth ward, your voice is representing other people that view things the way you view them in the seventh ward.
Mm,
Because and that's why I pay attention, because what I hear you say, the questions I hear you ask, I'm like, thank you. Yes, that's what it is. So while you may be a sixth ward appointment, other people, are happy that you're being their voice and bringing up their concerns and their issues. And somebody always wants to shut you down, because you can't rock the boat. You can't go against, you know.
well, can I say this?
Yes, you can.
I was born to tip the boat over,
Oh, okay.
so that's just how I am.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the baby. We
Mm-hmm.
spoiled. We get out. You know,
Uh-huh.
we had tantrums, and we want what we want.
And so,
And what I want is for my people to be free.
right,
So
right.
that's what I want.
And it doesn't happen under what is going on with this, like you said, this political violence, this political abuse, and people don't want you to open your mouth. If you open your mouth, if you hold up a sign, if you stand in the aisleway the wrong way, if you are trying to tape with your phone, all of those things are just to shut you down. You can't do it. Get up out of here. Let's get the police.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
And it's gotten worse and worse and worse. And I just think, I thought we had hit an all-time low when Paul Heron was allowed to, call Liz Taylor dumb or stupid bitch. I thought that was absolutely awful. And then when I witnessed last week, uh, Doug calling a black man the N-word 3 times. So the fact that you're asking for the CFO to come, I know.
Yeah.
Ooh wee.
And about that Doug situation, I'm not here to defend him at
Mhm.
all, but I was in the council chambers
Mhm.
when that happened, right? I did
Mhm.
not hear him call,
Mhm.
use the N word, but what I did see was that the council president as well as the council vice president, it was like they're using this poor man. I mean,
Mhm.
people say race baiting, and it's like elder abuse. And I
Right.
remember Mr. Mays talking about elder abuse.
Mhm.
And so I was just sitting there like, this is abuse.
Mhm.
This is abuse. You're abusing an elder because we don't really know this gentleman's mental condition. He's an elder. He's well, no, he's not an elder. He's elderly. Okay, sorry, let me clarify that. But he's elderly. So who's you kind of got him going all over the place, you know. So I didn't see what they were doing as being something healthy. It just appears.
Well, a lot of unhealthy things take place.
It does.
There.
Yes.
And I remember, so yesterday, one of the things that came up, and I don't remember if you said this, if Carol said this, if John, I don't remember who said it, but it was like, oh, whoever it was had talked to Councilman Mays, and I believe, and they said this is the worst council we've ever had.
Oh, yes. So
right when you thought it was safe to go back into the water, it just gets worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, I just the political immaturity, right? The unknowing. I mean, it's just so much. And so, my suggestion that we should look into is that we need our school district, right? We need our school district to start taking politics serious, right? American government, so that when our children come out of school, they'll have the basic understanding.
Right.
One of the reasons I did get on the Ethics and Accountability Board was because I wanted our young children to come to the meetings so that they can get kind of an understanding of, those who are interested, they could get an understanding of how local government works, right? How do we hold one another accountable? Different things like that. Really, I had a whole different mindset versus the mess that
is going on
now. So I have to rearrange my schedule. Sorry, girl.
That's okay. to be able to do this though.
Right.
And you pointed that out. This is volunteer.
No.
This is volunteer.
Right.
What you're doing.
But with me having an early childhood background, right, I like to take children with me.
Okay.
Because when you take
and
them with
you,
yes, they learn, right? And so if they're not in the audience or they're not at the table with us, then we're going to see another cycle of dysfunction in the near future because they're going to be in the learning phase. And that's where our current council at. They continue to be in this learning phase, and they don't want to learn. No. They just want to be bullies.
And they're doing it very well.
Yeah, they're successful.
They are successful bullies, and not all of them, but quite a few of them. Quite a few of them are successful bullies. Wow. What an achievement. I don't know what else to say. What an achievement. When I grow up, I want to be a successful bully. But maybe they were that younger too. Maybe they're just bullies, and you get better at it and better at it.
Right.
And it's like it's been fertilized or something.
Right. And they think it's a norm.
And it's not.
It's a dysfunction.
It's a dysfunction that has become normal.
Right.
And that's a bad thing.
Yes.
So what do you think's going to happen? Will you be at council meeting this evening?
So I am not sure because I do have a child that is under the age of 18. So it just depends. She refused to go to council with me. Okay. So I respect that. But so I'm not 100% sure about
if you'll be there or not.
Right. But just let the chips fall where they may. And we just go from there. Because it's nothing I can do. When somebody has this disdain for you, you can't change their mind. And I'm not here to change anybody's mind, right? I'm just here.
No, you're just here telling what's going on and presenting some facts for people.
Right.
Because that's what we want to know.
Right.
We're live. See, her phone is ringing.
Sorry, you guys. I thought it was yours.
Not saying Landon. She don't blame me.
Oh, geez.
That was not my phone.
Sorry, guys.
but so you know what? You have brought us full circle though, because
Mhm.
we started off talking about. You said, "I'll be okay.
Mhm.
I'll be okay."
Mhm.
The people won't be okay.
No.
And so when you say let the chips fall where they may, we want them to fall where you're still there.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's what would be in the best interest of the community. That's what would be in the best interest of the people that really feel like they don't have a voice. You know, and it's interesting to me because of the fact, um, you know, I just thought about something.
Okay.
So they already had voted out the first ward from having a voice for a long time, Councilman Mays.
Correct.
Then they voted out the sixth ward council person when they voted out Councilwoman Burns. So they didn't have a voice. Now they're taking another sixth ward candidate. They tried to take another first ward one, Carol Mack. They don't like the first and the sixth ward at all. Huh?
I don't think so.
You know, I mean, we're just going to keep taking the voices that have been put there, you know, elected by the people and placed by the people that we elected to put you all there. Let's take that voice out again. But so let's play this out for a minute. So they, what if they did? Doesn't Councilwoman Burns get to put? It's her ward.
Right. Right.
If I was her, I'd put you right back if they got rid of. Okay, well I'm a.
I mean, you know what? I know they want me. I believe, right? I believe that they want me to hate Councilwoman Burns, right? They want me to go against her, and that is not my.
They want you to be with them,
right? That is not my personality. I've never joined a gang. I'm not even in a sorority, right?
You never. And they are like a gang.
And my sister probably gonna choke me for that. She's in a sorority, right? But I that's just how freestyle I am, right? Because I kind of move at my own, you know, beat or tempo. So
they are gang like.
Yeah, this is like they like thugs. This is, and if you do if you look up thugs and look at the history of where the term thugs come from, you will be amazed to know that Tupac was not a thug. You know,
see?
So, but hey,
she's a librarian.
I but I only work in the children's.
But but that means to me that that's why you do your research. I mean, you give useful information.
Yes. And and when it comes to information, right, you have to trust your source. You have to have a relationship. And you as an individual have to be balanced when you are, you know, reading your newspaper, right? Or whatever article you're using. So you can't just say, oh, I'm only going to read the New York Times, because that's what I read, right? I have to be able to read multiple sources, not too many, because you don't want to overwhelm yourself.
But you want to get a balance.
You want to get a healthy balance, right? Sometimes I even step into the political arena with Fox News.
Because you want to see what they're saying.
I want to see what they're saying. I do, because I know one thing I can say is that I remember the whole situation about our current mayor and his bachelor's degree and graduating from Saginaw Valley State University. Or not. Well, did a little digging in some of the books in the library.
Okay.
And it said that bachelor's degree from Saginaw State University, associate's degree from Delta College, and it was in a book that's supposed to be a credible source. Well, we knew that's not true. So now I question how credible is that source, because you know,
because they haven't corrected that information.
They have not corrected that, not to my knowledge. And that was in 2016 when I was in there when it was published.
And well, I think worse than that is he hasn't had them correct that information. Has he?
I am not sure.
Okay, well, we're going to, if you had to bet, I bet he did. That's just me talking. That's not her, because she's going to do her research first. I'm just betting.
I'm just betting. I'm just betting.
What
I've seen in a book.
Right.
And I want people to not be fearful of books, not be fearful of reading um, articles.
Right.
We have to be able to dive into books. We have to be able to dive into newspapers. We have to be able to listen to sources from, like, I listen to Roland Martin, right? And Roland Martin, he make me mad sometimes, right? But I like his panel that he
Right.
has show up. So and they'll give you certain articles that they've received information from. And then sometimes when they talk, many times I've already read that prior to, in books and things of
Right.
that nature. So we just have to be careful, because there is a such thing as information poverty.
Yes,
And,
there is.
Dr. Alfreda Chapman, uh, she's an elder. Now that's a real elder. She's not elderly. She's an elder. Okay. But so she did her research about information poverty. So, and I haven't studied her enough to give like a synopsis of her study, but she talks about like urban communities or communities that are struggling. Sorry, like Flint, and how information is manipulated or restricted, right? And that's not a good thing.
And that happens frequently here in the city of Flint.
Yes.
I mean, more than Flint, but it's really because there used to be a time where mainstream media would cover council meetings.
Yeah.
They don't do any of that.
Yeah.
It's like, what is going on that we can't get? And then when things do get covered, you have to question it. It's like, I don't know if I believe that. But anyway.
Yeah.
I
excuse me.
I just, we're gonna see what happens this evening.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. I hope that you are still there. That's my hope.
Right.
If I had something to do with it, but I don't. But I thought it was important. I'm glad you came on to have the conversation, and know that so many people are rooting for you and are glad to have you there. We're glad that we have a voice there, and we thank you for not being scared and not being, to be there and to speak up and to stand up for yourself.
That's right.
You stood up for yourself. And that makes us feel empowered as well when you do those things. Because we don't have enough people that are bold enough and brave enough to do it. And they don't want people that are bold and brave and that are doing their research and know what's going on and will speak up and inform the community. There are those that don't want that to happen. And so, no, I applaud you for doing that. So we're going to be looking to see.
Yes, we will. Let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens. That's tonight. It's tonight's city council meeting.
It's like
see if they have the votes. I mean,
is this Monday Night Football?
Yeah.
This is what it looks like.
That's
so let's see what Monday Night Football look like. And
Monday Night political football.
Political football. Let's see who who wins this one.
And you know who I hope wins? The people.
I do too.
I hope the people win.
That's right.
Because that's who we're cheering for. That's who we're rooting for. That's who you're giving up your time for. That's why you're in there. And so I hope the people win.
I'm gonna vote for the people too. I'm gonna vote for the people because the people matter.
The people matter. So again, I just want to say thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
I want you to come back though.
Okay.
Because there's going to be another part to this story.
Okay.
We'll see what happens. Thank you all for tuning in to Real Talk with Karen Weaver. Billie D, I hope you stay out of the news now. I hope people leave you alone and you can do what you are there to do and what we need you to do, and that's be a voice. So thank you.
Ashe.
Happy Monday.